Money is not just about math. It's about behavior, emotions, decisions made in the heat of the moment. Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money reveals a powerful truth. How you think about money is more important than how much you know about it. This book isn't filled with charts or formulas. It's filled with stories. Stories that expose the hidden forces behind wealth, greed, happiness, and fear. Housel shows us that financial success is not about being smart. It's about being reasonable. In a world obsessed with numbers, The Psychology of Money reminds us that money is deeply personal. Two people with the same income can live completely different lives, one drowning in debt, the other building wealth quietly. Why? Because mindset matters more than mechanics. Housel explores how luck, risk, ego, and emotion shape our financial lives. He explains why people chase trends, panic during crashes, and sabotage their own success. He shows how patience, humility, and long-term thinking can build fortunes, even without high income or perfect timing. This cinematic summary will take you through the core ideas of the book. We'll explore why saving is more powerful than investing, why wealth is what you don't see, and why doing nothing is often the smartest move. But more than that, we'll explore the psychology behind money, the stories we tell ourselves, the fears we carry, and the habits that shape our future. Whether you're rich or struggling, young or retired, this book will change how you think. It will challenge your assumptions, expose your blind spots, and offer a new lens for financial freedom. Stay with me until the end, because this journey isn't just about money, it's about mindset. And once you understand the psychology of money, you'll never look at your bank account the same way again. We've been taught that financial success comes from intelligence, knowing the right formulas, picking the right stocks, timing the market. But Morgan Housel flips that idea on its head. He argues that behavior matters more than intelligence. Why? Because money decisions are made in real life, not in spreadsheets. They're made in moments of fear, excitement, pressure, and uncertainty. And in those moments, your mindset matters more than your IQ. Housel shares stories of people who earned millions and lost it all. Not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack discipline. He also shares stories of janitors and teachers who quietly built wealth over decades. Not because they were financial geniuses, but because they were consistent, patient, and humble. He introduces the idea that doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. Traits like frugality, long-term thinking, and emotional control are far more powerful than technical skill. Think about it. The stock market rewards patience, not brilliance. Saving money requires restraint, not complex math. Avoiding debt is about habits, not intelligence. Housel explains that we all view money through our own lens, shaped by our upbringing, experiences, and emotions. Someone who grew up during inflation sees money differently than someone who grew up during a boom. There's no universal logic, only personal psychology. This is why financial advice often fails. What works for one person may not work for another. Because money is emotional, it's personal, it's psychological. Housel also warns against comparing yourself to others. He says, "You're not crazy. You just see the world through a different lens." Instead of chasing trends or copying others, he urges us to define our own goals. What does financial success mean to you? Security, freedom, legacy. Once you know that, you can shape your behavior to match. The key takeaway is this: your behavior, how you save, spend, invest, and react, is the foundation of your financial life. And the good news: behavior can be learned. You don't need a finance degree. You need self-awareness, discipline, and a long-term mindset. This section of the book is a wake-up call. It tells us that money is not just numbers, it's emotions. And if you master your behavior, you master your money. Wealth is not what you see. It's what you don't see. That's one of Morgan Housel's most powerful insights. In The Psychology of Money, he explains that real wealth is invisible. It's the money you didn't spend, the choices you made to save, the discipline you practiced when no one was watching. We often confuse wealth with luxury. We see someone driving a sports car or wearing designer clothes and assume they're rich. But Housel reminds us, spending money is not the same as having money. He says, wealth is financial assets that haven't yet been converted into the stuff you see. This idea flips the script. It shows that true wealth is quiet. It's the person who lives below their means, invests consistently, and avoids debt. It's the person who values freedom over status. Housel shares stories of people who looked rich but were drowning in debt, and others who looked ordinary but were millionaires. The difference? Mindset. He introduces the concept of wealth as optionality. The ability to make choices, to walk away from a job, take a risk, to help others. Wealth gives you control over your time, your energy, your future. But here's the catch. Building wealth requires restraint. It means resisting the urge to impress others. It means saying no to instant gratification. It means playing the long game. Housel explains that one of the biggest threats to wealth is ego. The desire to prove yourself, to keep up, to show off. He says, spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. Instead, he urges us to embrace humility, to live simply, to save aggressively, to invest patiently. He also challenges the myth that wealth requires high income. He shows that even modest earners can build wealth through consistency and time. The key is not how much you make, it's how much you keep. This section of the book is a reality check. It exposes the illusions of wealth and reveals the truth. Real wealth is built quietly, patiently, and intentionally. Think about your own life. Are you chasing status or building freedom? Are you spending to impress or saving to invest? Are you living for today or planning for tomorrow? The hidden truths about wealth are simple, but they're powerful. And once you understand them, you'll never look at money the same way again. Morgan Housel argues that the most powerful force in finance is not intelligence, not luck, not even timing, it's time itself. The long game of money is about patience, compounding, and consistency. He begins with the story of Warren Buffett. People often call Buffett a genius investor, but Housel points out something surprising. Buffett's greatest advantage is not his stock-picking skill, but his time horizon. He started investing as a child and kept going for decades. The result? Compounding turned modest gains into extraordinary wealth. Compounding is deceptively simple. Small returns, repeated over long periods, grow into massive results. But here's the catch. Compounding only works if you let it. Most people interrupt it by chasing trends, panicking during downturns, or trying to get rich quick. Housel explains that the long game requires humility. You must accept that you can't predict the market. You must resist the temptation to time every move. Instead, you focus on consistency, saving regularly, investing patiently, and letting time do the heavy lifting. He also emphasizes the importance of endurance. Wealth is not built in a straight line. There will be crashes, recessions, and setbacks. The key is survival. If you can stay in the game long enough, compounding will reward you. Housel says, the single most powerful factor in building wealth is time. Not timing, but time. He warns against the illusion of overnight success. Most fortunes are built slowly, quietly, over decades. The long game is boring, but it works. Another hidden truth is that doing nothing is often the smartest move. In a world obsessed with action, patience feels unnatural. But Housel shows that inactivity, resisting the urge to constantly trade or chase, is a superpower. He also highlights the role of savings. Investing gets the spotlight, but saving is the foundation. Saving gives you flexibility, security, and resilience. It allows you to endure downturns and stay invested for the long haul. The long game of money is not glamorous. It's not about beating the market or finding the next big thing. It's about discipline, patience, and perspective. Think about your own financial life. Are you chasing quick wins, or are you playing the long game? Are you interrupting compounding, or are you letting it work? Are you focused on timing, or are you focused on time? Housel's message is clear. Wealth is not built in days or months. It's built in decades. And the secret is not brilliance. It's endurance. The long game rewards those who stay consistent, humble, and patient.